The name Corning is synonymous with glass, and the $33 billion Corning Incorporated is the world's biggest maker of glass for flat panel televisions. The company also produces many other components, including optical fiber and cable for the television communications industry. Corning has just reported its first quarter earnings, and while profit fell 8%, revenue surged by a quarter, beating estimates. The stock is up 8% year to date. Joining us now for an exclusive interview from the town of Corning, New York, is the company's chief financial officer, Jim Flaws. Jim, thanks very much for joining us. I didn't mention.
Thanks for having me.
I didn't mention in the intro the most, at least for the kids, the most exciting product out of Corning, which is the Gorilla Glass. What do you think is your most exciting product from your viewpoint as the finance chief there? I mean, is Gorilla Glass the biggest growth product?
Gorilla is definitely the biggest growth product. We were up 50% just sequentially from quarter four with Gorilla to about $150 million in the quarter. So it's really growing very rapidly. We believe we have a chance for this business to more than triple this year and get close to $1 billion. So it's definitely our fastest growing business.
Where are the markets that you're seeing it expand? I mean, I'm reading about car displays you'll be using it in. I mean, everything's turning into a touchscreen, right?
Yeah, that's really what drives Gorilla. It's touch on a lot of different devices. I mean, the biggest part of the revenue for us today is smartphones and tablets. We expect to get something on a car hopefully later this year in a display. And we're actually talking to car companies about potentially maybe being in the sunroof at some time in the future. So we think toughened thin glass has a lot of different markets, but right now it's smartphones and tablets driving most of the volume.
One of the big markets, obviously, Asia, and Japan has had its share of tragedy recently. How does that put Corning? You know, you have a big competitor in Japan as well. I mean, is this a benefit for you, or obviously the tragedy aside, or a drawback?
Well, really, none of the three large glass makers in Japan, ourselves included, thankfully suffered any damage or any loss of life. So we're really all on equal basis from that point of view. Obviously, the Japan retail market is a little weaker, but we really sell around the world, and China has been quite strong in the month of March. In the United States, we've seen 8 weeks in a row of television sales being up year over year. Europe's been positive this year. So Japan probably at retail will be a little weak, understandably, but the rest of the world seems to be doing fine.
Let me ask you about Corning here in the U.S. I mean, raising revenues by 24% for such a stead company is obviously an accomplishment. What does this mean for employees? Are you going to hire more people?
Well, we're definitely hiring. I mean, what drove the 24% is we actually had more than just Gorilla and display growing. Our telecom business grew 30% year over year. Our environmental business also 30%, life sciences 20%. So we are doing some hiring. Most of our hiring in the United States is for technical help in Corning, New York. We are doing some expansions in Kentucky and also some manufacturing expansion in Corning, New York.
I wonder also about you were a guest of the First Lady at the State of the Union address. We had you on shortly after that appearance. The CEO was a guest of the First Lady. The president had been talking about cutting corporate tax rates, or at least broadening the base there. There's been a lot of talk in Washington about removing loopholes. Are you happy with what you've seen on that front since February?
Well, we really haven't seen much progress yet. I mean, we would like to see our overall corporate tax rate. The U.S. corporate tax rate is 35%. It's not a territorial system, it's a global system. So most of our competition is actually Asian, and they have more favorable tax rates than we do. So we'd like to see some progress there, but really nothing's happened to date.
Jim, we appreciate you joining us. Jim Flaws there, the CFO. Obviously, the CEO, Wendell Weeks, was with the First Lady there, but I'm sure you were there in his thoughts as well. Jim, thanks so much.